Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawadah, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I wanted to do this here lesson as a comment board response to a fellow brother that's says that he's new into the faith, and so what, they're asking questions. So our job is to what? To answer and feed the sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep, And so that's what our job is to do, So I'm going to go ahead and read this here comment. And it says, and speaking on it, let me just jump into this here comment. It says, you don't have to make a video on it, but I want to know if this is, I believe, acceptable, But nevertheless, hey, for edification's sake, you may not be the only person with this here question or this concern, so, doing this here video is for edification's sake, and then plus, there's a lot of scriptures, a couple scriptures I'm gonna go into, and instead of just trying to type this all in, I'm gonna go through, read the scriptures, and also break it down. All right, so this here comment was left by Israel Benjamin. All right, it says, hello, brother. What does, I'll read it verbatim. It says, what does God say about making music and being popular? Because I'm new in the faith, and something is telling me that I should make songs and publish them, because I am going to college and I really don't want the job that I am getting in the next 2 years. You don't have to make a video on it, but I want to know if this is acceptable with the faith. Sorry for my bad English. I use the Creole that I speak, and hey, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We can try to get the gist of what you're saying or whatever, whatnot, So don't worry about all of that. But nevertheless, going into this here comment, first and foremost, I want to tackle the situation where you was talking about going to college and you don't want this job that you're going to get in the next 2 years, So dealing with this here job that you don't want to get in the next 2 years, if I'm understanding how you writing that, it says, and I don't want the job that I'm getting in the next 2 years. Possibly when you get out of college, there's a job that's probably set up or whatever, whatnot, that you saying that, yeah, I don't want this here job in the next 2 years. Well, and the reality of it is, you should be in the mind state, and again, I know that you know in the faith, you noticed, you said that already, but nevertheless, this is for edification's sake, to build you up. But, Lord willing, we're not here in the next 2 years, man, and, focusing on these here prophecies, you should be, how do I say, fully occupied in the prophecies, because, how do I say, hidden inside the prophecies is pretty much a time clock. All right. What is that? 2nd Ezra chapter 6, talking about when is the end of the world. All right. And they tell you in there, it says, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So that's a lot of information right there. So Esau will be ruling at the end time and Jacob is going to be the next that's following it. Now, when you fill in the prophecies in between all that. All right. So obviously, Israel, the Most High made a covenant with Israel. If we kept the commandments, he would bless us. And if we didn't, then we would, be under these curses and go into captivity. Well, we went through all these captivities. Then there was that falling away first. All right. We didn't know who we were. But then you have Ezekiel 37, which talks about the valley of the dry bones and Israel being raised back up in the latter times. All right. Then they was going to start seeking the Lord in the last days, So like I'm saying, as far as focusing on the prophecies, all right, if you was focused on the prophecies, you would understand that, look, we almost up out of here. Lord willing, we're not going to be here in the next, in two more years, we don't know the day or the time, but also like you can read in Matthew 24, talking about learning the parable of the fig tree. All right. So, and, we study these prophecies all the time, and we constantly are watching in the news and seeing these things come to pass. So, the minute of the Lord right now, our spirits are like super turned right now, because we know that salvation is nigh at hand. It's closer than what we actually believe. Because, we already pumped in the spirit saying, look, Lord's will, this is good. At the end of this year, they're going to start fully pushing that mark of the beast. And then by next year, we're going to get salvation, just speaking as a man. That's how we thinking in our mind. We hastening the day, man. So, looking at these here prophecies and learning the parable of the fig tree. All right. Or bring it to you in layman's terms, the parable of the fig tree. I always like to use this here analogy, man. When you're riding in your car and you see that gas light coming on, what is it signaling to you? Telling you, look, you're, you need to pull over and get gas before you be walking. This is a sign or a warning telling you you're about to run out of gas. So technically, how do I say, painting another analogy of learning the parable of the fig tree. Look, we see that the gas light is on, so we about to run out of gas. So what do we know from there? Well, if we don't want to be walking, we about to arrive to a gas station, So, just to keep that in mind, like I said, I know that you said that you're new in this here faith, especially being new in the faith, being a babe, you should be desiring a sincere milk, building yourself up and things like that, trying to be occupied in these here prophecies because, hey, with these prophecies, that the scriptures say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time, man. And you don't want to get, the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night when you least expect it, so you don't want to be focusing on the wrong things at the wrong time and not, trying to get this here truth and understand these here prophecies and getting all this here understanding, and then all of a sudden Jacob's trouble come out of nowhere, or unto you because you're getting caught like a thief in the night because you didn't occupy yourself into the prophecies, so you don't even know about Jacob's trouble coming around the corner. You don't even see the signs coming up because you don't know those prophecies, or you might not know that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. And this is not a direct attack on this here brother that made this comment. This is just in general, any and everybody, it's for edification's sake. But nevertheless, if you don't know that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast and they start pushing this here thing out there and you focusing and worrying about something else instead of the prophecies, you're liable to take that there chip, or any of these prophecies that's coming to pass, thermonuclear warfare, the chariots. Hey, the chariots is kind of hot right now. You know what I'm saying? We didn't had again, another spiritual booster for us, with this Iranian military firing at the chariots, But nevertheless, like I said, hey, man, the men of the Lord are hype right now because all these things is happening right now, and so that's where we're focusing our mindset on, and we're also hastening the day of the Lord. So we, Lord's will, looking at this economy, they talking about crashing the economy like super soon, all they talking about is a recession. Everything is collapsing, and we seeing the curses fall upon Esau. All right, we super excited about all these things because we know that what the end is at hand. More and more people are waking up. People are asking us all kind of questions and things like that. Hey, you yourself, talking about you're new into the faith, so people are waking up to this. All right. And so what we're hastening the day of our salvation, we're not looking 2 years down the road and saying, oh, I want to do this or I don't want to do that. We got the mindset, the Lord, like amongst us brothers that's in the camps, like I know, speaking for the camp that I'm in, whenever we see each other, and, like, let's say on Saturdays, we see each other, right? And, right, when we're about to depart or whatever, whatnot, we'll say something like, yo, we want to do such and such next week, or I'll see you brothers next week. Lord's will, if we here, Lord's will, I'll see you next week if we still here. But if not, Lord's will, we'll see you on a chariot. That's what we have in our mindset. That's how we think. Like, yo, Lord's will, I'll see you brothers next week on Saturday, but Lord's will, I don't see your ass next week on Saturday. Lord's will, we be up out of this bitch on Sunday. We just got done prophesying on Saturday. Lord's will, we don't make it to next Saturday. Lord's will, that the chariots come the next day on Sunday, or Lord's will, the chariots come and scoop us up before we get home after prophesying on that Saturday. This is the type of mindset that we have in our minds that, we're hastening the day of the Lord to come back. All right. So, let me go back up to your comment. It says, and let me touch on the college situation, Now, again, if you're partaking in this here system, this here place in Babylon, as far as for longevity, if that's your end goal, to be here to how do I say, to maintain in this here place, you trying to build or invest in this here place to be here for like the long haul, or, and make a so-called 10-year plan. Again, that's not the right spirit to be in, So if you're like, all right, so right now in the next 5 years, I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna go to college, or I'm gonna go try, I'm gonna go do this and do that. If you're thinking about things like that, then, that's not the spirit to be in, because again, you should be hastening the day of the Lord. All right. Now, not to say that, it's nothing really wicked about going to college. Of course, they're going to just be brainwashing your ass with this Edomite doctrine. But at the same time, there's really nothing wicked about going to college. It's not really against the scriptures, but it's really not going to profit you nothing. If anything, it'll probably make you worse off by indoctrinating you with that bullshit. All right. But again, so let's just say, for instance, like I just gave the analogy, like you shouldn't be looking forward to, like, you know what? I'm about to get this new job and I'm gonna work here for 2 years so I can be able to apply to get me a mortgage to buy me a house. You know what I'm saying? And then some years after that, I'm gonna start me a business and then I'm gonna pass it down to my kids. If your mindset is that, then that's the wrong spirit to be in. But however, if you know what I'm saying, if you, let's say you living with somebody and things is going rocky or whatever, whatnot, and you have to leave that house and you need to move to another house, let's just say, you know what I'm saying? It's not wicked that you move. All right. And then sometimes, a lot of the times, really, especially if you got the credit and stuff like that, it's a lot cheaper for you to buy than it is for you to rent. Your damn rent is like half the damn price of certain mortgages when you compare size by size. If you go get a little small 1 or 2 bedroom condo, You know what I'm saying? Hey, like I know around here, there's some 1 and 2 bedroom condos where the rent, the mortgage is like $400 a month, you know, but the one bedroom apartment in like the hood is like 7, 8, or it's like $800 a month, you know, going on $900 a month, you know? So, I mean, hey, if, you know, like the scripture also say, use the world, not abusing the world. All right. So, hey, you can use this world, you know, if it's going to be better off for you financially, it's not going to be that much of a burden on you to actually purchase something. All right. Purchase a house rather than renting an apartment. Then there's nothing wicked about that. But your mindset has to be the thing is like, well, I'm just doing this because it's financially better on me and I don't have this burden of having to work all these damn hours. And hey, I can focus more on the scriptures now because I don't have to pay so much on housing expenses, you know, or let's just say you want to start a business. You know, again, there's nothing wicked about that, but you have to have the right mindset. If you got in your mindset, oh, I'm about to start this here business, I'm gonna get rich, and generations down the line, I'm gonna pass it on down to my kids, so on and so forth. Again, you know, you getting comfortable here in Babylon in America. You like this place. You're trying to survive and make it in this here place, man. You're trying to make your captivity a little better. All right, you're not gonna how do I say, be comforted in this here place of your captivity. Now, on the flip side, if you're about to start a business because of the fact of you trying to get you know, a burden off your back. Let's say you work for a lawn service, right? You know, you cut people grass at a lawn service. You know, this is your job. You go and you clock in, you got a boss or whatever, whatnot, you know. But now, nevertheless, this here boss has always got you working on Saturdays, always on, you work 7 days a week, bro, every damn day. Now, it wouldn't be wicked if you had the funds, the money. You know, it's not wicked of you to sit there and be like, you know what, I'm going to go buy my own damn lawnmower, my own weed eater and leaf blower. I got my own truck and trailer. I'm going to go start my own lawn business so I can work less hours, you know. I don't really plan on getting super rich off of this shit and passing it on down to my kids and shit like that. But I'm just doing this so I can get this here burden off of my back. All right. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, you know, or in your sense of college, you know, let's just say all of a sudden, you know, you getting, how do you say, money to go to college. As long as you enrolled in school, they keep giving you money. I know some people that's like that, that's constantly just taking classes because they constantly getting, how do you say, money to go to school. Now, what they really do with this here money is they pay basically for housing, their food, and they got a car and stuff like that, and they actually work a job, but they keep basically going to like one class to keep getting this financial aid. But the financial aid is pretty much like a paycheck to their ass for them to survive in this. They're not really looking to, you know, get a degree in this here place. Again, it's nothing wrong with having a degree, but I mean, if you know, let's just say you 18 now, you all right, or 17, 15 years old now, you like, all right, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna get a degree in this, and then I'm gonna start working in this here field. That's gonna be 7 to 8 years down the road, man. All right, again, Lord's will, we not going to be here that long, so that shouldn't be your mindset, man. All right, you should be, you know, hastening the day to get up out of here, all right? But again, like we all need jobs to put a roof over our head and things like that. Again, these things aren't wicked, but if that's your main priority, then that's going off, all right? Now going up, again, it says, hello, brother, what does God say about making music and being popular, all right? Because I am new in the faith and something is telling me that I should make songs and publish them because I'm going to college. Well, let me just stop there. Makes me want to make songs and publish them. All right. And now again, in the scriptures, all right, it doesn't really tell you about how do I say? Let me word this correctly. Now it doesn't tell you in the scriptures, all right, like making music is wicked. All right. Now, however, you can be making music like today's music, the popular rap and shit like that. That shit is wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like you got this dude. What's this guy's name? Future. This guy, all he talk about is doing drugs. Molly, Xanax, Percocet. He got a song, Molly Percocets. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, now, the scriptures also say that, how does it say it? How does it word it? It says, roughly paraphrasing, the people that lead my people cause them to err. All right. So who are our people looking up to? These musicians, these music people, these famous people. All right. They're looking to them for guidance. You know, you got people that know they're Israelites. You know, a brother, matter of fact, watched a video earlier today about a brother who put up this other rapper. He's like a Muslim dude. But anyway, it's a Jake rapper, and he was over there talking, and he was in Islam. He's in the nation of Islam, and I guess there was a Israelite guy that asked him about the Israelites and so on and so forth. You know, they going back and forth, so on and so forth. You know, Kendrick Lamar on that album with that song "Slow Down, Be Humble," and that CD. You know, a lot of brothers reference the fact that where he say, "I ain't black, don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite," as the only song. But actually, when you listen through that album, there's a lot of different, not skits, but like at the end of the songs or whatever, whatnot, you'll hear his cousin, which I believe is in the IUIC camp, actually preaching. You know, bringing out scriptures. You know, talking about us going into captivity and so on and so forth, edifying. So like literally you could be listening to the Kendrick Lamar CD and wake up to who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying? You know, on a certain type of level. But overall, you know, he's not really pushing the truth out. You see what I'm saying? And really when you're in those positions, they're not going to allow you to do that because you have to understand the system of what all that entertainment stuff is, man. Once you really realize and understand, you know, and you know, a lot of us brothers, we came into the truth by learning about the so-called, like what the world calls the Illuminati on a low level, you know, the musicians and shit like that. We come in and we be, you know, looking into shit like that. And then you'll find out like, yo, man, you really cannot get into this here industry and succeed and be successful without either going on the casting couch or, you know, human sacrifice, one or the other, you know. And really, you know, they tell you to, you know, you basically got to sell your soul, you know. You're going to pretty much go against all the things that you believe in, your morals and your standards, basically to get some money, you know. And, you know, you talk to a lot of these, especially certain of these female artists, they'll tell you that the reason they stop, you know, rapping and singing, like the ones like Nicki Minaj and stuff like that, whereas wherever you see Nicki Minaj, she's like a huge sex symbol. But however, when you talk to her about certain things, she's like, you know what? I don't really like how they're using me to be this sex symbol. I want to be more than that. I want to be a mogul. I want to be looked up in the highest, you know, be esteemed a lot higher than just being basically a sex object or a sex symbol, you know. But nevertheless, that's not what the elites want. You know, you have to understand that no matter, it's not about your talent or whatever, whatnot, you know, because at the end of the day, at the end all be all, the people who own these record labels, forget the record labels, the people who own the media corporations that play the music on the radios, on the internet and things like that and promote all these things, these are all Edomites and they're all doing it to damage and destroy our people, man. One of these people, I forgot one of these celebrities who said that basically hip hop has done more damage to our communities than anything else, man. All right. And when you look at it, you have a lot of these people running around shooting and toting guns and popping off because they think they all gang bad, you know, all that type of shit. Tekashi 6ix9ine type. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the problem is with this new generation. They seeing all this fake ass shit in these music videos and these rap songs. And they think that these niggas is really doing this stupid shit and they're rapping about it. Like, bro, you're not selling no goddamn drugs. You're not moving no weight or no shit like that, killing nobody and then rapping about it. Well, some of these stupid niggas is actually doing that and getting locked up because you basically telling on yourself, you know? But like the Snoop Dogs and shit like that, you know, when they talking about, you know, some of these people like, you know, some of these rappers talking about actually killing and murdering folks and stuff. They ain't really doing no shit like that. That's just part of the context of the shit that they rapping about because they know that this is what these execs is telling them to rap about. Nah, I don't think they'll. Kanye West said it. Like, you know what? I had Jesus Walks and they still didn't want to sign me. They said that nobody could be in a club jamming to Jesus Walks. You know what I'm saying? But lo and behold, that song actually took off. You know, but nevertheless, they know what they want to promote, and it's basically destruction to our people. All right, so this is one of the reasons, you know, when you get into this here stuff, you got to ask yourself, what are you going to be rapping about? What is the topics that you're going to be rapping about? Again, it's not necessarily wicked to be making this here music, but however, what's coming out of your mouth, you know what I'm saying? You keeping people asleep still by telling, oh, I'm the realest nigga, I'm this and that, I'm from this block, I'm from that block, I'm from this hood or that hood, whatever, whatnot, you know? That's not really a edifying thing to do to our people, especially in this time where we're in a war of information. We're in an info war right now, man. We're trying to raise up and wake up the elect of Israel. But what is the devil doing on the flip side? He's trying to rock them back to sleep, man. He's trying to, you know, that's why, hey, the men of the Lord be having these demons be attacking them all the time, man. Because why? The devil is basically trying to get you to be tempted by these things and fall out the truth. All right, so you have to ask yourself, what type of music are you going to be making? All right, and then let's say you are going to be making some Israelite music or whatever, whatnot, talking about the topics of the truth and things like that. All right, now, what are you going to do with this music? I mean, you can make this here music and just keep it for yourself or the people that's around you or whatever, whatnot. But I mean, if you're doing this here music career to so-called be famous and be heard by the masses of people, get on the radio and make music videos and for everybody to know you, first and foremost, like, that's not going to happen with you being an Israelite. Because like I said, there's plenty of these, a lot of these celebrities know that they damn Israelites, one way or another, man. You got Snoop Dogg did a damn video where, like, you know, if you could read between the lines, and it was clear as day, where he was like Moses with what they call the Star of David, which that's not the Star of David. You know, he's a little lost, writing in Hebrew, and he's just talking about God, like the Most High, and the Son actually being black and not being white. So he know, right? But he's not really coming out. You know, I heard him on an interview talking about Nipsey Hussle. He was like, oh, he was kind of like Jesus, whatever, whatnot, you know, but the black version. And then the person who was interviewing him was like, well, Jesus was black. He was like, yeah, well, we know that, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever sakes, you know, we're going to just say it like this. So these celebrities know, man. You, like I said, you got Kendrick Lamar, that other rapper, that's the Muslim dude, I can't think of his name. You got a lot of these rappers, Snoop Dogg and all these people, not just rappers, man. You got politicians. I remember Waka Flocka actually walked by one of the camps, man, and got edified. Then right after that, you seen a whole complete change in Waka Flocka's countenance, man. Sold all his jewelry, all his different cars. He said he got like 2 cars now. Now I don't know where he's at nowadays, but nevertheless, he really kind of got out of all that rapping and stuff, you know. But again, I don't know exactly where he's at this point in time, you know. And then, you know, hey, you actually got some men of the Lord that's in the truth. All right, I can think of a brother right now who's in the truth, who's got a sibling that's in the music industry. Like, this is an actual celebrity that all you people who listen to hip hop would know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? Whereas their brother is into this, and I believe he actually works somewhat in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? That's not quite into all of that, you know. And I believe it's just like maybe like a DJ or something like that. But nevertheless, again, it's not much in there, and where his, you know, his first love is actually just here truth, man. That's just a job to him until he get up out of here, you know. That's not where he's trying to get famous off of, you know. And we also got brothers that's been in the sports and stuff like that, and how do I say, athletes and stuff like that. But then what? Hey, I know a brother right now, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know what I'm saying, was on a NFL team, you know, was actually on the NFL team or whatever, whatnot, and his woman actually brought him to the truth, showed him these videos or whatever, whatnot, you know. And he wound up retiring and just walking out of that. He just pretty much got signed or whatever, whatnot, was about to start going up and gaining fame into this here world. But what, when he found out the truth, he walked away from all those things because he'd rather serve the Lord and get the fame from the Lord instead of about the world. All right, so this is the mindset that you should be having, all right, when you know, measuring these here times diligently, where we at and what time it is. You know, we about to get up out of here, all right? So let me read through this comment one more time, and then I'm going to go grab the scriptures that, you know, back up the things I was just saying. It says, hello, brother, what does God say about making music and being popular? We're going to touch on the popular part as far as inside this scripture. Hey, but nevertheless, in all reality, you know, they're not going to put this on the TV like the biggest celebrities are, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, the biggest celebrities on the planet Earth right now, like really in the sight of man at that, are the Israelites, all right? Because we dominate the YouTube, for one. That's why they keep making all these changes on the YouTube, and all these people, like, whenever you hear these other channels and these truthers or whatever, whatnot, they complain about being demonetized and all these different things and so on and so forth. Really, they all complaining because the fact that these YouTube changes are happening, but all these changes are coming in effect because of what we're teaching, all right? The Israelites is pushing out this here truth, all right? And people are waking up to that, all right? And people are really, you know, when you look at cable and stuff, people are really getting their cable cut off, and a lot of people are using YouTube. So what? One way or another, you're going to wind up coming across this here truth on YouTube. So what? We famous, man. You know, we, you know, in your regular everyday life, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all in the spirit, man. Earlier, throughout this here week, man, I had a couple random people, you know, just either come up to me and ask me if I was a Hebrew. Do I know about the Israelites? Do I know about this and that and so on and so forth? And I was questioning myself, like, did y'all see me on some videos or some shit? Like, do I know y'all? You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, hey, man, this is going out, you know? You got random people who you wouldn't think, you know, not that long ago wouldn't even see this, but now you got just regular people out in the world as if this is the new cool thing to do, you know? Oh, we Israelites now. Do you know about the Hebrews or whatever, whatnot, you know? So you have a lot of people waking up to this. Why is that happening? Because there were the men of the Lord, the prophets were on the highways and the byways pushing this here truth out, and it became such, for a lack of a better term, a fire trend that was going throughout the earth, all right, that everybody's, not for another lack of a better term, is jumping on the bandwagon or waking up, you know? So now this is the talk of the town, because why? Everybody's been, for lack of a better term, gossiping about this. You know, the men of the Lord has been on the internet, for lack of a better term, gossiping. You know how when people be gossiping about certain things, and you just so happen to overhear something, and then you go running with the secret and tell somebody else. Well, that's how this here truth was, you know? You may not have been directly looking for this here truth on YouTube or whatever, whatnot, or you may not even be into this, but guarantee you might, even if you know, don't see it on the YouTube, but guarantee you got at least one friend that know about this, and they might be talking about this, you know what I'm saying? So one way or another, you're going to wind up hearing about this. And who are the people that's out here pushing this here word out like that, all right? Starting with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down. Hey, man, that's one thing that we do heavily, is going to, you know, videos and prophecies and uploading the videos, man. Hey, even one of the arch enemies, Vocab Malone, you know, because he go through and talk to all these different camps, but he was just like, you know, they are, you know, roughly paraphrasing what he was saying, he was like, really, those videos that they pushing out, you know, mainly with GMS, you know, because they're heavy with putting out videos, you know, it's actually having an effect. You know, a lot of people are actually waking up to this. Why do you think the numbers in churches are declining? There's a lot of people that's seeing this here truth on the internet and going to their church and asking their pastors about things, and they're realizing that we got this here truth, man. And so when you look at our videos and things like that collectively, Hey, man, if you was to take all the brothers' channels and all the main camp channels and add up all the views that we get on a weekly basis, I guarantee you we probably knocking it pretty much all these other TV shows and everything else out the woodwork when it comes to ratings, man. All right, and we know that they be fudging our numbers. But nevertheless, man, this is the new hot thing, man. This is that fame. You know, people are looking for this here truth. They're desiring this here sincere milk, man. All right, so this is really where you want to be. And ultimately, all right, in the end all be all, I'm going to just quote this here scripture. I'm not going to grab it in scripture, but when the famine of the word in Amos chapter 8, verse 11 come to pass, all right, talking about the Lord's going to send a famine of the word, all right, where he's going to take the men of the Lord off the highways and the byways from teaching. All right, it says that they're going to wander from sea to sea, from north even to the east, meaning that you're going to have a lot of people that's going to be looking for the men of the Lord, all right, looking for these famous people. Damn, man, what happened to that store that had that discount? You know, it's like you looking for a pair of shoes, right, and you in the mall, right, and you go to the one store and you see the pair of shoes in there, but you know that this store is normally like $5 to $10 a little more expensive, and you know you got 5 more shoe stores down the hall in the mall, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to just go down there and look at another store. You go to another store and they're like, oh, we just sold out. You go to the next store, oh, we just sold out. Oh, we just sold out. Now you're trying to run back to the first store to go pick up those pair of shoes, and come to find out, as soon as you get a line to ask for it to do it in front of you, had to wind up buying it, you know? So now you're like, damn, I should have got it while I had the chance, all right? Because why? Those shoes were a popular pair of shoes. Everybody wanted them. They all sold out now, and now you can't get them. You should have got it while you had the chance, all right? So, that's another sign of this here fame, because why? We were out here pushing this here word, and this gospel is going forth throughout the whole 4 corners of the earth, which is raising the spirit of these people on the planet Earth, you know what I'm saying? And then they're going to be seeking out this here truth. Isaiah 4:1 talk about 7 women in that day is going to take hold of 1 man. All right, so hey, you want to be famous. Most men want to be famous because they think they're going to get all the women and stuff like that. But in reality, all right, the men of the Lord are going to wind up getting these righteous women that's going to be saved and delivered pretty much on this side, to get us into the kingdom of heaven and procreate to bring back the rest of the nation to Israel. And then when we get into the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be super famous. Matter of fact, let me get to the scriptures. We're going to start with that one. All right. This is Daniel chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even into that same time. And at that same time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Now, the ones found written in the book, you can go to Revelation chapter 7, talk about the 144,000 and the 1/3. All right, those are the ones that's going to be delivered. Not only that, as a side note, you know what I'm saying? When you understand that the spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets, all right, they've been doing the same thing over and over and over again from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. When you understand that the one object that's been on this here planet Earth, that's been pretty much going throughout this planet Earth for the most part unmolested, is these scriptures. All right, we know they took out the Apocrypha, they changed, some of the names up. Like Mary's name was not called Mary. They weren't calling people John and Joseph. They weren't using those names. All right, but nevertheless, for the most part, these scriptures have been around, throughout all these other kingdoms, but these kingdoms are long gone. Like when you go talk about ancient Babylon, well, you had Daniel, and these speaking about Daniel. All right, Daniel was in Babylon, right? Daniel and the lion's den and so on and so forth, right? So this here book was written in the captivity of ancient Babylon, right? And guess what? We in the daughter of Babylon way later off in time, and we still have the same words that was written from back then and there. So, and think about how famous and how popular Daniel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Matthew, Peter, Paul, Nehemiah, Joel, Amos, Ezra, all these different men of the Lord that was mentioned in the Bible. King David, Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, Solomon, who the world English calls Jesus Christ, YAHAWASHI, which is his real name. All right, think about how famous these men are, especially YAHAWASHI. The whole world know about him. All right, they just don't, they don't know about him in his true form, but nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about this, man. The men of the Lord, the subjects, the spirits, Salakia, the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. So the men that was back beforehand, all right, like in the book of Daniel, all right, shut up the words of the book. So he's going to stand, Daniel 12 and 13, but go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. All right, so what do you think Daniel is doing right now? Daniel is out on the highways and byways prophesying somewhere, all right? But nevertheless, think about this, man, all right? Because in a sense, all right, well, in reality, all right, you men that's on the highways and the byways pushing right now, you prophets that are out there now, you actually are written in these here books in the scriptures, like the prophecies is talking, like the last verse of the book of Obadiah. All right, the valley of the dry bones, raising them up. All right, then the saints gonna take the kingdom. All right, but all these different things. All right, salvation come up hither. The 144,000 being delivered. You see what I'm saying? All this is talking about you that's basically living on the planet Earth right now. So how much more? Now, the scriptures also say that they're not going to talk about the Exodus from Egypt no more, but they're going to talk about how the Lord delivered us up out of the land of the north. All right, that's going to replace that story about the Exodus, which was way back in Egyptian captivity. All right, so look, you're about to get a fame that you don't even understand. Like, if you're a man of the Lord and you pushing this here truth, man, you're going to be written down for ages. Not only that, Israel about to take their lot as the gods of the universe, man. Joint heirs with YAHAWASHI over everything. All right, so just think about that. When Israel's going to be up on a pedestal in the sight of all these other nations, they're going to, first of all, Israel as a nation going to be made famous. All right, just like the so-called white man is famous right now on the whole planet Earth. When people know not to fuck with him, be, oh, no, that's the so-called white man. We won't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Israel's going to be like that. The nation of Israel's going to be like that. But then also on an individual level, man, you still going to be up higher than these people, man. All right, now, if you a man of the Lord, let me just keep reading. Verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. All right, so look, you don't want to be the ones that wake up to shame, everlasting shame and contempt. Like, in the last times you knew you scoffed at the prophets or whatever, whatnot, or you knew about this here truth and you didn't do anything about it. You didn't go out and teach. You didn't do any of these things, but then when we get to the kingdom of heaven, because all Israel's going to be saved. All right, but then when the Lord, brings all this back into your remembrance, all right, you're going to be like, damn, bro, I decided I wanted to go out there and get, glorified by the world, doing music, being a athlete or something like that, instead of trying to shine in the sight of the Lord by raising up his sheep, man. There's no greater job than that. All right. Some people are like, oh, you think about this, like some of these dancers and some of these musicians, like, yo, you famous, or comedians, you know what I'm saying? Like your special move is what? To make people laugh, to entertain people, to make people dance. You know what I'm saying? But look, the men of the Lord, they raising up the valley of the dry bones, man. When you understand how fucked up Israel is, all right, them dry bones, how dry those bones are, man, it's a fucking miracle to raise the dead, bro. When you see that, man, that's like, hey, that to me, that's a huge miracle right there, raising the fucking dead, bro. All right, because I can look at my own self and see where the fuck I was comparably to where I'm at now, man. I'm like, the water YAHAWASHI I was shot, bro. Yo, like, that's a glorious work, man. All right, and just think about that, man. The fact of the matter, let me grab that real quick. Yeah, let me grab this real quick in the book of Isaiah. What did I just quote? I forgot what I quoted. Give me oh, I know what I quoted. Okay, let me see. This is Isaiah 49:3. And said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. So to look, the Most High, all right? So you want to sing and dance and all that, right? Let's just imagine, that you, like, in wrestling, right? They got intro music, right? You hear the intro music, get you all hyped because, your favorite wrestler coming out, Now, sometimes, I don't know if they still do this, but I know at a certain point in time in WWF, like at the WrestleManias, they would have, like, an extended version of their intro music. And sometimes it'd be played by a live band, But nevertheless, giving the analogy, like, I'll use the analogy of the wrestler The Rock, because, hey, that's the Most High. It compares himself sometimes to a rock, all right? So just imagine, we being, the men of the Lord, the prophets, being that live band, all right, or the live orchestra that's playing the theme music at WrestleMania when The Rock is coming out at his at the main event championship match, man, all right, where he's about to prevail over his enemy. All right, so we out there singing in the choir or whatever, whatnot, the theme music come on. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Then the crowd goes wild, right? Then how is The Rock being glorified? First of all, his music is how do I say, is stirring you up to stand up on your feet and cheering and scream out his name, Rocky, Rocky. Same thing that we're doing right now, man. The men of the Lord are on the highways and the byways, pushing forth this here truth, man, ushering in the coming of our Lord and our Savior, man. all right, exalted in the name of Yahweh and his son YAHAWASHI, man. This, it's because of the men of the Lord that's on the highways and the byways right now that name is even being brought back into remembrance on the planet Earth, man. That name, was once lost, and not really heard by the people on the planet Earth. But now that name is ringing through the ears of the people again, man. Actually, you actually got the sons of Israel calling out unto Yahweh in his proper name now. Because why? The men of the Lord has been on the highways and the byways singing out and calling out in that name, man. All right, bringing forth the glory unto Yahawashi before his return, man. All right, Isaiah 49:3. And said unto me, thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain, yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my power. All right, so basically, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might think that pushing this truth is for nothing. It's just vain or whatever, whatnot. But this is like the greatest thing that you could be doing on the planet Earth in this here time, man. And plus, you're going to be highly exalted in the sight of everybody on the planet Earth, man. Not just Israel. First of all, you're going to be amongst Israel. You're going to be exalted among them. Just like the 12, You're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua, the first fruits, man. You're going to be taken and given, let's just say an NFL or whatever, whatnot. The people that's drafted first, the most valuable players to be drafted on the team, they get a higher paycheck than the person that's getting on the team last, because he's probably not as valuable as the very first round pick, We got to pick him as soon as possible, and we got to spend as much money as possible to make sure he's going to come on this here side. So what? The first fruits are going to be reimbursed more than the rest, They're going to be exalted even more than the rest of the Israelites, all right? That's why we were just reading in Daniel 12 about the everlasting shame and, and everlasting life, But nevertheless, continuing on, verse 5. And now saith Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be his servant. That's what we're supposed to be. The Lord's servant, to serve the Lord, not serve our own belly or not serve this here world or not trying to entertain fellow Israelites, It says to bring Jacob again, Salak, verse 5. And now saith Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be a servant, to bring Jacob again to him. All right. So to wake the Israelites back up. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and in my power shall be my strength. So what? We're going to wind up being famous in the eyes of the Lord first and foremost, because why? We're the ones that's actually doing his work, man. Serving the Lord, especially in this place of darkness and wickedness. All right. Hey, we're the only so-called righteous right now, because we're not 100% righteous. We go off. But according to the Most High's will and doing his will and serving him, we're the only people that's doing that right now, man. All right. Verse 6. And he said, is it a light thing that and he said, it is a light thing that thou should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation to the end of the earth. So look, if the Lord gave you a skill or a trait, hey, pray that it be a spiritual skill or a trait or a gift to be able to go and teach and raise up the Israelites, all right? Not to really pacify the Israelites and put them back to sleep with some feel-good music, Hey, we even listen to some of this wicked-ass music just to get us through certain things, Let's say you at the gym and you working out, Lil Jon will probably be some real good crunk music for you to get on, treadmill or go run a mile or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you at work and, you got a highly laborious work. You don't want to be, you want to have some hype music to get you through your day, the job of your day, But as far as waking up the spirits of the Israelites, you want to be singing the Lord's song, all right? So let me go from there. I'm going to read 1 Corinthians chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse 18 and go down to 23. It says, behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which that eat the sacrifices of partakers of the altar? What say I then, that the idol is anything, or that which is offered is sacrifice unto idols anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, not unto the Most High. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and partakers of the devil. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he. So going into that is like what, man? The people that's of this here world, speaking of the Israelites of this here world, they're seeking to fill their own belly and to serve this here world to basically get some money, get some fame or whatever, whatnot, man. All right, but these things are all offered up as unto idols, man. This is just all bullshit, man. All right, you would rather you know, what do you ultimately, what are you sacrificing all your time and the things that you're doing? Let's just say you become famous in the music or whatever, whatnot. Now you got to go on all these tours, you know what I'm saying, rehearsals and this and that, this photo shoot, this radio interview. You don't really have time to push the word of the Lord, man. Then you're going to get, how do you say, distracted, or that's not really the word I'm looking for, but you're going to get comfortable with all the money you making, and it's not going to be expedient for you to go out and push this here word, man. One of the good things about us always being at the bottom of the barrel and always going through all these afflictions, it makes us call out unto the Lord more and more and more, crying out for salvation because we're getting tired of being here, man. All right, but if you got all the money in the world like Jay-Z, he want to stay here because he got $1 billion. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, continuing on, verse 22 or verse 23, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. So again, you know, there's nothing wrong with you making no rap songs or rapping and stuff like that. But look, is it really edifying? All right. And not only is it edifying unto you, is it edifying unto the sheep? If you're going to be famous and be seen by all these different people, your voice is being heard by all these different Israelites. Now, is the message that you feeding them with, is that going to bring them salvation, or is it edifying into them? Or is it, how do I say, beneficial for them and for salvation in the times that we coming into? Or is it just something good to pass by the time that to pass by time or whatever, whatnot, you know? Because dealing with this here music and this here stuff for the world, man, it's just basically all to keep you comfortable in this here place, man. Just like TV, entertainment, all these things is basically entertain, basically to have mind control over your ass, to control your mind, to keep you on one spot, you know? If you're constantly watching TV and listening to music all day, you don't give your brain, your mind time to rest and kind of listen to its own self to be able to think about certain things, you know, because your mind is just focused on repeating the words of this here song and being on beat, or watching TV and trying to understand what the message they're trying to convey unto you, all right? It says, let me read that again, verse 23, all things are lawful for me, all right? So, again, it ain't really nothing wrong with making no music or whatever, whatnot. Now, if you making music, talking about, yeah, fuck a nigga bitch, I'll take your bitch, bro, that's going off. That's really going off, because you're teaching them to err. You know, talking about Molly's and Percocets, selling drugs and killing and shit, like, you teaching our people to go off. All right, so that's against the law. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know, you just making some music, because hey, technically, yeah, you can make some edifying music as far as dealing with these scriptures or whatever, whatnot, or you can actually be rapping and not be rapping about the scriptures, but rapping about some so-called conscious rap about, you know, why the police always shooting down a so-called black man or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But at the end all be all, it's not really waking up the Israelites. And if you're going to be showing your face into the masses and being so-called the center of attention or in the limelight, why not be pushing out this here truth unto the Israelites in that same sense, you know? Just like I said, all these rappers and these celebrities that know that they're Israelites, but they just pushing out music. When the Lord come, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, oh, Kendrick Lamar, well, I did mention you a couple times on my album here and there. Yeah, but that was a couple times on 1 or 2 songs for about 10 seconds. But you got about 4, 5, 6 albums with so many X amount of hours of you telling people to go off, man. They just skipping through these here parts, man. It would have been better for you to sit there and, you know, do it in reverse, where you got a whole lot of tracks talking about the Israelites, and maybe you got 1 or 2 actual rap going off songs or whatever, whatnot, just for the radio, you know? But nevertheless, let me go to the next scripture real quick. Let me go back real fast. 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. So whatever you're doing and saying, it should be for edification's sake, you know, especially if you're going to go into the site of the, how do I say, the masses on the internet and things like that, where people can, it's a lot. If you're going to be on the internet where a lot of people can see you and you got this here fame on the internet, you know, like on YouTube that got PewDiePie, right? If you got like 2 million subscribers like that, like, yo, bro, you got 2 million eyes on you, but you ain't pushing out no truth on that. So really, your channel is not that valuable in the sight of the Most High. It's not valuable at all in the sight of the Most High, because you ain't waking nobody up. But if you have a brother that's pushing out this here truth, all right, and he only got 2 subscribers, and he keep getting them same 2 views on the video, and his channel is way more valuable than PewDiePie with his 2 million views. 2 million viewers and 2 million views, because he's not edifying, all right? This is 2 Peter chapter 2, or 2 Peter chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, meaning it's going to catch you off guard because, look, what are you going to be occupied in? If you occupied in the things of this here world, then you're not going to be looking at the prophecies, you know, and measuring the time diligently. So this is why you have to keep your mind your mind sober and watching and hastening the day of the Lord, because why? The Lord's going to come when most people least expect it, all right? Because they all too busy trying to do something else, get fame, get the bag, you know, be noticed by all these people, whatever, whatnot. But what the men of the Lord are concentrating on pushing out this here word, man. That's why we excited about seeing these here prophecies come to pass, because we know, hey, the end all be all is right around the corner, man. But then we talk to certain people and they be like, nah, I don't see that coming. That's because, you know, like scripture say, busted your eyes will see the things that you see. All right. The rest of them was blinded. It's not for them to see it and get it because they so occupied in the things of this here world, man. All right. Verse 11. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? All right. So, hey, going back to buying a house, you got a 10, 20-year plan. Oh, man, I'm about to get this here job or get it to, you know, work for 2 or 3 years, and I'm going to put a down payment on this here house. Then I'm going to propose to my old lady. Then in 2 years from there, we're going to have some kids. You know, we're going to send them, we're going to start a college fund. See, now you planning to be here for the long haul, man. All right, that's when you going off, man. You got to understand that all this here stuff going to be turned to missile food, you know, Lord willing, real soon. And as you watch the prophecies, that's pretty much what's going on. You starting to see that the whore starting to, or the beast is starting to hate the whore. All right, talking about basically America's allies are starting to hate America. America's becoming small amongst the nations. All right, these other nations are waxing stronger and stronger, getting in how do you say, conglomerations, or in cahoots, not in cahoots, but in a conglomeration. All right, they're gathering together, being allied with Russia. Russia is preparing itself and these other nations with them. All right, so what? We know that salvation is right around the corner. All this is about to be turning into missile food. So why would I want to sit here and be like, all right, I'm going to save up some money and in 10 years I'm going to buy my first house? Lord willing, we ain't going to be here in 10 years, man. All right, or, you know, again, if you in college, if let's say you in high school and you planning on, when I get out of high school in 2 years, I'm going to go to college for this. It's going to be 8 years in college. Then I can go, you know what I'm saying, go, you know, become a doctor or something like that. And then I'll be doing that. That's the wrong mindset to be in. Now, again, if you just pimping the game out, whatever, whatnot, and you wind up getting like some grant or some kind of financial aid where they're going to just write you a check. And then, I mean, you can technically just sign up for one class and you getting this free money coming in. It's helping you pay your bills. I mean, ain't really nothing wrong with that. All right. So, hey, all things are lawful, but not expedient. Yeah, I mean, I can go to college. I can be, you know, do certain things like that. But is it really edifying to the elect? Am I really doing the Lord's work right now? All right. Because you just coming into this here truth is not necessarily going to just get you saved like that, man. Oh, I knew I was an Israelite, but the Lord's like, well, what'd you do for me? All right, what have you done for me lately? All right, you know, when I come back to save you, why should I save you? What have you done for me to make me want to save you? You started, you know, working for these record labels or this here society to entertain them. All right, but what about, you know, not really saying entertaining the Most High and His Son, but, you know, doing at their work, you know? But nevertheless, it says, verse 11 again. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, all right, with the ICBM missiles, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? See, you should be focused on this here truth. Verse 12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Most High, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All right. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. So that's what we looking for. We hastening. Like I said, man, when we be departing from camp, we'll be like, Lord will, we'll see you brothers next Saturday. But really, Lord's will, we don't see you next Saturday. Lord's will, we'll be on a chariot before then, and we'll be delivered up out of here, you know? That's the type of mindset that we have, that Lord's will, that we won't see each other no more. We'll be on them chariots next time we see each other, you know? And the Lord's about to take us up off these highways and the byways. Salvation gonna come. Not saying, you know what, in 2 years, we're gonna go take a camp trip. We're gonna go to another camp or whatever, whatnot in 2 years. Yo, man, Lord will, we ain't gonna be here in 2 years, man. All right? This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 12. It says, I will also leave thee in the midst of an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahawah. All right, and that's where we at right now. You know, like Yahawah said, I know, roughly paraphrasing, says, I know thy tribulation and thy poverty, but thou art rich. All right, because wow, we have this here truth. That's more valuable than anything else on this here planet Earth, man. All right. Hey, man, there was a book, 103 Amazing Native American Facts or something like that. I remember I looked that book up a while back. It was like $20. And I looked it up again. It was like $20,000. I just looked it up the other day. That book is $250,000 now. All right, because why? This here information, all right, is way more valuable than anything else, man. That's why the scriptures say, "I will make a man more precious than the fine gold of Ophir." You know, the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, being a man of the Lord, that's gonna be more valuable than anything. Because why? Wisdom and knowledge is gonna be the stability of that time. You're gonna know how to be able to move in this here atmosphere that we're coming into. All right. Verse 13: the remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity nor speak lies, neither shall the deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. All right, talking about the remnant of Israel, the elect, the ones that's going to be saved. They're not going to be walking around talking all this bullshit or rapping about bullshit lies and trying to make up a lot of little dumb shit to keep rocking Jake back to sleep or make this here unattainable idol that appears in front of the people. Look, you can, like, you know, the Jay-Z story. You know, I was just a Brooklyn boy from Marcy Projects. I started out selling drugs, and now look, I'm a mogul. I'm a billionaire. I got, you know, and people would buy onto this here dream and they be trying to work towards it, you know. But nevertheless, it says, the remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. All right, because wow, who are we going to be feeding? The sheep. We're going to be on the highways and the byways, standing in the face of those that afflicted us with great boldness. All right. Verse 14, sing, O daughter of Zion. All right, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. All right, so basically talking about the Israelites. All right, why would they be singing? All right, we're gonna get into the song that they singing anyway. It's let me see. Let me read that again. Zephaniah 3 and 14. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Now this isn't just not talking about the females of Israel. This is talking about basically the men of Israel, the prophets. All right. It says, sing, O daughter of Zion, shout, O Israel, be glad and rejoice with all heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. Let me go over to the book of Revelation. Oh, for time's sake, you can read in Revelation chapter 5. All right. Let me get it real quick. Revelation 5:1. And I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside sealed with the 7 seals. Now, we was reading the book of Daniel earlier. If I would have got down to a certain point, all right, it says basically seal up this here book into the times of the end. All right, then knowledge shall be increased. All right, so basically that's what we're reading about in Revelation 5:1. How the scriptures, the breakdowns, nobody could get the breakdowns. Basically, all the understanding of the scriptures was hidden away. Verse 2, and I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. And no man in heaven nor on earth, neither under the earth, were able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much because no man was found worthy to open the book and to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. So basically, it's talking about YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI was the one that was able to get these understandings, all right? So we're going to go from there. Now, we just read about being glad and singing, all right? This is Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb, which is YAHAWASHI, stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having the Father's name written in their foreheads. Now, like I roughly paraphrased earlier, talking about concerning Daniel 12:1, about those that was going to be saved, those that was found written in the book. Here it is again mentioning that. But when you go to Revelation chapter 7, it actually tells you who these people are, all right? 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes, plus the 1/3, all right? Verse 2, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and the voice of great thunder, and I heard a voice of harpers harping with their tongues. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. All right, now, these 144,000 are the same as written in Revelation 7. But nevertheless, focusing in on this here song, this new song that they sang that nobody could learn but the 144,000. All right, so what is that talking about? How you see me in this here video right now going from precept upon precept, and a little bit in this book, a little bit in that book, here, and there, to string these here precepts together to make one lesson, you know? Like you would normally read a regular book just like this from Revelation 14:1. You know, you would start at the top, and I looked and lo, and then once you get done with that verse, you would go to verse 2, then verse 3, then verse 4, verse 5. You don't always read like that in the scripture. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Like Revelation 14:1, you know what I'm saying? You can read 1 through 5. That's all going into just one thing, you know, and then you go into something else right after that. You know, it's not necessarily like that. So you have to go here and there, here and there. Just like in the music industry, you know what I'm saying? You got what they call bars, you know? And to count a bar is like 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. You know what I'm saying? We think, all right, I just thought of the Eazy-E song. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Where the little beats go, those are what you call bars. There's 2 bars right there. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". You know what I'm saying? So he got different bars. They putting these bars together. You ever heard him say, oh, I got a hot 16. You got to put these bars together. Or if you use like, now I don't know what the shit called nowadays, but back in the days, the shit was called Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops is like a motherfucking, it's like how these new age people be making their little beats and shit on these new beats and shit that these producers be making. They use this computer program that, I don't know how they do it nowadays, but it used to be called Fruity Loops. You know, I got an uncle that's in the music industry that does that. He makes music, sing, perform, and all that shit, you know. But he's actually talented enough to play the instruments live. But, you know, and he used to get into using those little, I don't know what you call these programs, but the program is called Fruity Loops. You know, I used to go to his house and stuff like that in his little music studio, be fucking around on there. You got to put together these little blocks, right? Same thing like in these scriptures, man. We going here a little, there a little, precept upon precept, line upon line, putting these here bars together. You got the first verse, the second verse. Hey, just like in the scriptures, we reading verse 4, verse 5. When you in a rap, you're like, oh, that's my first verse I'm laying down, and the second verse I'm about to lay down. The same thing. So we got this here song that no man can learn but the 144,000. Or really, only the elect is going to get this here understanding, all right? The rest of the world ain't going to be able to get it, all right? So what? You got this new song that only you can learn. You know how they talk about certain rappers with they mumble rap? Can you understand what they saying? Nobody understand what they saying. But the person who rapped it, they understand what the fuck they were saying because it wasn't given unto you to understand that language, you know? But we're singing a song right now with these here precepts, you know? And Lord willing, you all are dancing with these here songs because why? And what I mean by dancing with it is music unto your ear. You like hearing this here song. You just listening to it all day long. It's like you got it on repeat. You watch one video, then you go to another video, or you just let it play on. And, you know how they go into another video and another video. It's just like music, man. And a lot of brothers, I know for me, myself, the majority of the time when I'm listening to anything on my phone, I got my headphones in, you know? So it's just like I got my headphones in, listening to some regular music, you know? But this is music into our ears, you know? It uplifts our spirit, you know? Get us into a whole nother mood, you know? Just like how some people go out jogging and stuff, they might put some Lil Jon on to get them all hyped to go to work out. When, you know, when we low in the spirit or whatever, whatnot, we go into the scriptures. It raises our spirit up, you know? Let me go from there to, I know I'm gonna get the book of Joel. I think I'm gonna read down to verse 19. We'll start at verse 15. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 15. It says, blow the trumpet in Zion. All right. Now, it's funny how the Most High keep using these analogies, right? I'm talking about singing a new song, but we're not on the highways and the byways actually singing the song. Hallelujah. We're not out there doing no shit like that. You watching these videos, that's the damn song that we singing right now. We going from verse to verse, precept to precept. We dropping, hey, it's music to your ears, right? Once you get done watching one video, most of the time you go click on another video. I want to hear the next song. Just like when you listen to music in your car, you flip from song to song to song to song. You start jamming and dancing and make you move, you know? You might get up and clean your house to some, hey, like for me and my generation, you know what I'm saying? We used to listen to some old school shit, you know what I'm saying? You might throw some Al Green on or some shit like that. Or some Earth, Wind, and Fire beat. Jamming to that shit while you cleaning the house or some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, whatever we doing throughout our day, sometimes we put on these here scriptures and we be jamming out, you know what I'm saying, to the scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and doing whatever we got to do, you know? So it says, blow the trumpet in Zion. So again, they got a musical instrument, but also at the same time, they used to blow the trumpet when you got the watchmen. The watchmen blow this here trumpet to warn the people. It's like an alarm, you know? So it says, blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people. So this here song is doing what? Gathering the people. Just like in the military, they got what they call well, one term is a rally cry or a war cry, but damn, the American military, they got this shit called reveille or some shit like that, which is pretty much calling all the people up on hands or whatever. They play the little shit in the morning. Forgot the damn name of the song they play in the morning to wake up all the damn troops. But nevertheless, this is what they doing. But the song that we singing is like a Lil Jon song, bro. You know, when you hear this here song come on in the intro, what do Little John songs do? I mean, you know, I keep referencing him because that, you know, I grew up listening to that shit. I'm not into this new shit that's going on now. But nevertheless, when Lil Jon was out and popping, his songs always called you to the dance floor. Get out of your mind. Turn down for what? You know, what you gonna do? All that shit was calling you to the dance floor. Our song is doing what? Calling you into repentance. When you hear this here song, is raising up your spirit and calling you into repentance, man. All right. So it says, verse 16, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that suck the breasts. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chambers and the bride out of her closet. Let the priests, the ministers of Yahawah, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Yahawah, and give not thy heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their power? All right, so look, that's what we're doing right now, asking the Lord for mercy upon our people to, you know, not destroy us all, you know what I'm saying, but to save thy elect. All right, verse 18. Then will Yahawah be jealous for his land and pity his people, because why? They was out there crying out unto him, sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Man, this is music to the Most High's ear, man. There's no better person to, for lack of a better term, entertain with our music than the Most High, man. All right, this song is, you know how this song is sweet into the ears of the elect, man. This song is way sweeter to the ears of the Most High and his son, man. Just think about that, man. Just think about if you was a father and you had a son, all right, you got a little boy and you raising him up to be righteous and to do certain things or whatever, what not to represent you a certain way. You teach him to be polite and have manners, and you send your kid to school, and then you keep getting these phone calls from the teacher and the people at school, but they're not bad phone calls. They're calling him like, I don't know what you did to your kid, but your kid is so nice, he's so polite, he's doing this and that, so on and so forth. That's music to that father's ear, because why? He knows that he raised his son up right, and people are calling and giving him compliments on how well he was raised. Same with this here truth, man, is we out here singing and how I say, singing and jamming with our song, man. This is music to the Most High's ear, and it's the most pleasing music unto his ears, especially in this time of all this mumble rap and bullshit that's on the radio right now, man. You know, and this is all metaphorically what I'm saying. The mumble rap is what? All these heathen talking all this bullshit, Kemet, all these other doctrines, these other philosophies and shit. Motherfucker, that's mumble rap, man. Let's get back to some old conscious shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, in my era, we used to listen to some shit like Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Where he was talking about the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the skin, or the darker the skin, the deeper the roots, or keep your head up. All these different songs was kind of like uplifting our people when we didn't have a so-called father figure or brother figure to tell us that somebody loved us when we was all downtrodden. You know what I'm saying? That was edifying music. But the new shit they got nowadays, like, I woke up in a brand new Bugatti. Like, nigga, how many niggas you know who got a Bugatti? How many Bugattis you ever seen in your life, in real life? Can't no nigga relate to that shit. That's a mumble rap shit. And we don't understand that shit. All right, but what? Singing this here song about the oppressed, the people that's on the bottom hand that's looking for salvation, looking for somebody to take the curses up off of them, to understand the curses that they in. This is music unto their ears to tell you why you can't never succeed in this here society, why the so-called white man hates you, why you've been in slavery. These are all the answers. This is music unto your ears, man. So what? This is the best song to be singing. All right? Let me go to the next precept real quick. This is, I might close out here. Where was I going? Luke 7. And this is Luke 7 and 31. And the Lord, and Yahawashi said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation, and to what are they like? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling one to another. All right. And so look, that's where, you know, the real men of the Lord, that's where we at right now. We're not, well, on the weekends, you see us on the highways and the byways pushing camp, right? We in the marketplace where everybody else is at. And we still singing the same song, man. We still singing the same song, calling the children of Israel unto repentance, letting you Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know you the children of the Most High, come back into the law, statutes, commandments, come back into your power. That's what we doing when we on the highways and the byways. We singing and dancing and, well, we singing and playing these instruments unto you. You know, we putting on a concert, man. We out there rocking out, you know what I'm saying? We got a free fucking concert for you outside, right? We got a free show going on for everybody. Well, not for all of Israel to hear. But guess what? Only the elect is gonna hear that music and come and jam out with us. All right. But the rest of the people, they're gonna walk by like, man, we don't want to hear that bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me read this again. Luke 7 and 32. They're like unto children sitting in the marketplace, all right, at a concert, and calling one to another, saying, we have piped unto you. All right, that's what we're doing on the highways and the byways. We out there singing this here new song. And ye have not danced, we have mourned to you, and you have not wept. So what? The majority of our people that's walking by when we out here singing this here song, they just walking by laughing, scoffing, or ignoring us, you know? But what the elect, they going to hear this here song and they going to get up on their feet and they going to start dancing, you know? This is pretty much likened into a Lil Jon song singing, and when the elect walk by, they do what? They be like, oh shit, that's Lil Jon. They start bobbing their head and shit, tapping their foot. Next thing you know, they going lamb up in the club. I was gonna say going ham, but they going lamb up in the club, man. They turning up, you know, turn down for what? You know, you see these men on the highways and the byways, their spirits be all turned up, be on fire out there, man. That's like them going hard. They spitting the hardest bars they ever spit in their life, man. They going, you know what I'm saying? They like Lil Wayne on the track. Oh, damn, Lil Wayne just killed that shit. Hey, but our song is way better, man, and it's way more glorious, man. And we're going to ultimately get this here fame. Oh, man, I just totally forgot about that. I think I was there, but I didn't read it. I'm going to close out here, though. I'm going to read Zephaniah chapter 3 and 14 again. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O Israel, and be glad and rejoice with them rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem. And the song that they talking about is these scriptures, not an actual music song, right? Let me just jump down. And this here song is supposed to do what? Gather up the people, all right? The Israelites, the elect, all right? This is that Lil Jon song calling you to the dance floor to come dance with us, right? But what? The 2/3, they're not going to listen to this song. You know, they looking for some other type of shit, you know? They want to hear some goddamn Taylor Swift or some shit, you know? Verse 18, I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly who are of thee, to whom the reproach it was a burden. So those that are downtrodden or whatever, whatnot, that are humbly looking for salvation, they looking for that perfect song to dance to. All right, the Lord is going to send out certain musicians out on the highways and the byways with that certain song that's going to make you come out there and dance to it, you know? You know how you got certain generations, like my generation now, we don't really listen to the radio, not even the ones that's in the truth, but just regular people around my age. We don't really listen to the radio because we don't like hearing all that mumble rapping bullshit. But you throw in some oldies and shit, we be jamming to that. You know, that's the song that we want to hear. So what? The ones that want to hear this here song going to be the elect, man. They're going to be the ones that's going to jump up and dance to it, all right? It says, verse 19, behold, at that time will I do unto all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Because why? The men of the Lord, we're going to be at the bottom of the barrel. People going to be laughing at us, scorning us, or whatever, whatnot, you know? So we infamous right now. I mean, we famous as fuck right now because everybody know about Israel now. Everybody know what the Edomites are. They know what Babylon is. This is why you're seeing a lot of people doing a lot of shit. Like, even people that's not in the truth, you're seeing a lot more people walking around with incense and shit, talking about aligning their chakras and getting their spirit right. And, oh, I'm not religious, I'm just spiritual. Or I'm looking for knowledge. You see all these different people picking up all these different philosophies and shit now. Because why? We've been pushing out this here truth, is making people, is raising up their vibration to a different type of level. Instead of just listening to music and bullshit all day, they want to seek out knowledge. But they're not finding the right knowledge, but they seeking out knowledge. You know, lighting the incense and things like that, and getting into the herbs and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Oh, we want to leave out of America. We don't like these different ways and so on. So that's because we've been out here pushing out this here song, man. You know, it's like that song that you don't really know that song. You might not like that song, but you didn't heard a little bit of it. Now you over there humming the song. You know what I'm saying? Or you trying to sing the song, but you don't really like the song and know the song. So you stumbling over the words. They might not even be saying that. You know what I'm saying? You saying whatever, whatnot. But it's akin to the song that you wind up hearing. And that's what these other people are doing. They trying to get so-called knowledge and waking people up and reading books. And, oh, we ain't black no more. We the original people from the diaspora. Where do you think the fuck that come from? That spirit came from us pushing out this here truth, because we was talking about slavery. All right, we're not Americans, we're not Africans, we the Israelites, you know. But instead, they don't want to be calling themselves Israelites. They say, oh, we are of the diaspora. And when you go into that, the only time that word was ever really used, all right, it was talking about when the Israelites was scattered amongst the four corners of the earth, and that's us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's something in history called the transatlantic slave trade. That's what that's talking about. You see what I'm saying? But again, you have people that's taking and trying to remix a song and don't really know the song. You know, they butchering it all up. All right, but they getting fame a different type of way. But that's not that fame that's gonna last, because ultimately we're gonna have everybody gonna know that there had been a prophet among them. All right, or I'm gonna end with that. But nevertheless, let me read this and I'm gonna go grab that. It says, verse Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time will I do unto all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And at that time will I bring you again and even in the time will I gather you, for I will make you a name and praise among all people of the earth when I turn back your captivity before the eyes of, saith Yahawah. So look, being the first fruits, man, all these nations are going to be coming and bowing down unto you, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to, hey, when it's written and everything go down, it's like, these are the men that stood in the face of the elites, the Rothschilds, you know, the Edomites, you know what I'm saying? These big bankers that stood in the face of basically the American military, and they all they might and everything else like that, that went against the grain. When it was a time where they was people, you know, because of the LGBTQ community, they want to hush their mouths or whatever, whatnot. But these men kept going the whole way through. These men was on the highways and the byways amongst the police, and the police was shooting people down and telling the so-called white man he was going into slavery and shit, and that their kingdom gonna get nuked off the face of the earth. These was the men that did that the whole time, where everybody was laughing and scoffing at them. And now these men that was the tail have now become the head. All right, these men actually did the shit that they was talking about that they was gonna do, man. The Lord actually glorified these men in the sight of all these heathen, in the sight of even 2/3 of our people, Israel, man. In front of the whole world, these men are gonna be exalted, man. They're gonna be the most famous people in all, of, not to say of all time, because Yahawah and Yahawah pretty much is, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, especially in these times, like the scriptures say, man, you're not going to be talking about that Egyptian exodus no more. You're going to be talking about the Babylonian exodus, basically, at this here point in time, man. All right? And even leading up into that, you know how they talking about, before the exodus, you had the Pharaoh, or Moses talking to the Pharaoh saying, let my people go, and, you know, the different things that the Magi and Moses wound up doing. These are all pretty much the works before the Exodus happened. So now we're doing the works now, just like how when Moses was doing the works in front of the Pharaoh, all right, right before he led them up out of Egypt, man. So it's the same thing that's going on right now. But we basically doing, you know, having a competition between us and the Magi right now with the staff, you know, before we actually declare to let my people go. Well, Yahawashi is going to do that, but before we actually get up out of here, you know. So I'm going to close out with this. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33. 33 and 33. Oh. God. Let me just read from 31. This is Ezekiel 33 and 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. So you don't want to be out here, oh, I know I'm an Israelite, but you're not really serving the Lord. All right. And lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not. So like we read earlier, hey, we was in the marketplace, we was playing the music and shit like that. We had a concert for you, but you ain't dance. You didn't get up. I keep giving the analogy to the Lil Jon song. The Lil Jon songs be calling you out to the dance floor to start dancing and shit. That's what we doing. Calling you out to get up, to dance, to move, put in this here work, man. All right, but look, you walk by, oh, I know I'm an Israelite, and keep it moving, you know. But you should be actually out there doing it, all right? Verse 33, and when this come to pass, lo, it will, they shall know that a prophet had been among them. That's, you know, you're going to ultimately get that fame. Damn, these niggas was right the whole fucking time. You know, I should have been like these people, you know what I'm saying? Especially that Isaiah 4:1, them 7 women coming to one man, the Most High making a man more precious than the fine gold and wedge of Ophir. All right, we're going to be highly exalted, man, in the sight of all these nations and in the sight of everybody on the planet Earth, man. That's the ultimate fame that you should be seeking for, not really the fame of this here world and being popular in the world, man. All right, because ultimately, if you're being popular in this here world, for what? For doing something of a worldly sense? Or do you want to be popular in this here world or infamous in this here world for serving YAHAWASHI? Let me grab one more. This is Matthew 24 and 24:9. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So because, you know, you're going to be pushing this here word and people ain't going to quite like that, you know, so you're going to become infamous in this. Oh, that's them fucking Israelites. Hey, just like being a part of Great Millstone, man. A lot of people that know about the truth and know about the camps, they think that we the worst camp out of all, you know, because they hear what these other people slander us with. But nevertheless, hey, the truth is coming out of GMS, man. And really some of our other enemies that's against us, you know what I'm saying, that's not really in this here truth, like the vocab Malones and stuff like that. Hey, man, they acknowledge that, hey, out of all these other one Western camps, man, Great Millstone is the one that's the one where the heat is at, for real. They actually go hard, you know, because he was giving a comparison. Yeah, IUIC, they got well-polished videos or whatever, whatnot, but GMS, they got them low-budget videos, but they the ones actually putting out the most videos, edifying the most, and it's actually making a change on the planet Earth, man. So that's what we out here doing, man. This is the song that we out here playing for these people. But look, we're not really going to be famous in the sight of these people at this here point in time. But when all things are going to be revealed, man, we're going to be the most famous people that there really has ever been, because we're in the worst kingdom. This is a time like never before since there was a kingdom, even into the same very time, man. But what? The elect is about to be delivered up out of this, man. All right, I'm going to close with that one. This is Daniel chapter 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince was standing for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time shall thy people be delivered, everyone that should be found written in the book. So here it's talking about, Jacob's trouble, but it says it should be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. So this is going to be the worst time ever on the planet Earth. But how much more if you're a prophet in these last times, raising up the children of Israel in the worst captivity, in the worst time, under the worst conditions, man. All right, you way more famous than all the other prophets beforehand, man. All right, which if you were a prophet in this here point in time, you was a prophet back then. So, but this here lot was way greater than any of the other lots that you stood in beforehand, man. All right, so this is where you're going to get your fame and all that from. And this is the music and the songs that you should be trying to sing towards the Most High, man. All right, so Lord willing, this here answered your question and you was edified by this, and not only for you, anybody else that was listening has some concerns about that. And for anybody else, hey, if you got any questions, concerns, or questions or concerns, you know what I'm saying, or need some edification or clarification on anything, hey, drop them in the comments below, man. And Lord willing, we'll be able to get around to it and answer your questions, man. All right. So again, Lord willing, the elect was edified with this. Lord willing, the brother that asked this question was edified with this, and anybody else who needed this here was edified with it. All right. And until next time, I say, call halal Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push in this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.